不停地在问嘛，大部分时间是花在第一个观点之上的。
这 paparazzi claim 我觉得那个真的，真挺打击人的。一开始就没说几分钟就开始疯狂问，
但很正常啊。是这样，我对你们已经很客气了，真的感受到了吗？还投我最凶，我对你们真的很手软了。
那是 among four of us
他真的很在意，他们说他很凶。
他好可爱呀。
The three of us discussed and deliberated on the performance of each team. I must say that this is a very difficult decision for us to make, and this is unanimous, that the winning team should be...
关键时刻要到了。
should be the...
你谈过几个女朋友？我
都爱听这个话。
So we have listened to the submissions of both parties, and now we come to the stage of having a reply from the plaintiff first.
抗辩。
May it please the court, I shall make my submissions in response to the defendant's submission. First of all, I would like to emphasize that in the court held in favor of the plaintiff on the sole basis of unjust enrichment. Therefore, we invite the tribunal not to draw any adverse inference on the mere fact that plaintiff conceded on the proprietary claim. Now, the only cause of action remaining is unjust enrichment. The defendant only relies on the change of position defense to resist this claim.
不当得利。
Therefore, I shall make my submissions on the issues of illegality, as illegality is one of the grounds that the defendant relies on to allege their change of position defense. May I refer your lordship to paragraph 9 of the defendant's skeleton argument. It was stated that the plaintiff's claim was based on the proceeds obtained from illegal gambling. First of all, there was no proceeds obtained, given it was a fraudulent website set up by the fraudster. And the second point that the defendant raised is that plaintiff's action was contrary to Section 8 of Gambling Ordinance Cap 148. Actually, Section 8 concerns betting with a bookmaker. Betting means the outcome is based on an unpredictable event, but in the present case, it is not unpredictable. Theoretically, the plaintiff was not engaged in the baccarat herself.
Ms. Xu, given that you have limited time, can I ask you the question about paragraph 20 of the defendant's skeleton? That's what they're saying is that the illegality involved in the foreign exchange does not debar the defendant's change of position defense, considering the policy of unlicensed foreign exchange trading is the prevention of money laundering, and therefore the nature of the present transaction is not one which the PRC regulation intends to regulate. How would you answer that?
My learned friend will address you on this issue.
Your Lordship, that as contrary to my learned friends from the side of defendant's allegation in paragraph 20, the underlying purpose of the prohibited unlicensed foreign exchange trading is not only the prevention of money laundering. According to Article 1 of that PRC statute, the underlying policy of the statute also include the maintenance of a healthy and stable financial system. And in the present case, only by prohibiting such transmitting of money can this underlying purpose of the PRC relevant statute be achieved. Therefore, finding legality on the side of the change of position, the purpose of the statute can better be achieved. And turning to the point of replying the point of bad faith of my learned friend. In the case that the defendant relied on by himself, it says, where he knows that the payment he has received was made by mistake, the position is quite straightforward. He must return it. And according to paragraph 19, subparagraph 8 of the Mutri record, here I quote, the defendant will knew that it was a mistaken transfer. Therefore, following the approach in the case that was raised by my learned friend from the side of the defendant, this court should find bad faith on the side of defendant and deny the defense of change of position. And since the defendant does not dispute the validity of unjust enrichment, we submit that restitution should be granted on the basis of unjust enrichment.
很直接，是不当得利吗？是，是不是该还呢？该。Over.
Okay. Much obliged.
冯明浩挺的，中规中矩，还不错。在这3个人面前能有这样的松弛感，我觉得已经很棒了。
刘律的笑啊，那这次都溢出来了，满意。
姨母笑，
刘律一笑，真Sunny。
Right. Mr. Lee?
My lords, I should be brief on my reply. In essence, the defendant did not believe this was transferred to her by mistake.
Oh, why?
The defendant, at the time of receipt, was expecting $500,000 as she demanded the sum from the fraudster the day before. And so the next day when the fraudster transferred her the actual $500,000, it would not come as a surprise to her as she demanded it from the fraudster.
Is it really a surprise? Look at the next sentence. It says the fraudster messaged the defendant to ask for the $500,000 back. And he said that as it was transferred to the defendant by mistake.
My lord, our submission is that at this point, what the fraudster claims cannot be trusted by the defendant. And hence, at this point, it would be of no value if the fraudster was to say it was by mistake. Because following the same logic, the defendant would not have trusted the fraudster.
So he trusted the fraudster in returning the money to her. And she does not trust the fraudster when he immediately asks the money back, saying that it's a mistake.
Sunny 懵了。
这是个双向的悖论。他意思说，因为他是个骗子，所以那句话也不值得信赖。对，他不可能
相信了前半句不相信。
但是这很危险。
提问有很强的诱导性。
That's right. Yes.
What about the next sentence? It says the defendant will knew it was a mistaken transfer.
We submit that based on the facts, on the subjective mind of the defendant.
So you're saying that even though the fact said clearly that he knew, she actually didn't know.
Sunny 脸上是绝望。
We submit that we wouldn't put it in the way that she didn't knew, but she would not reasonably have reasonably would have knew that the payment was actually a mistake.
太难了。
这是攻击性很强。
Okay, I believe your time's up.
Yes. Thank you, my lords. Concludes my submissions.
我们至少有一点打下来，但是他们没有特别立得住脚的点。
That concludes the submission and the reply of the proceedings today. So we are going to adjourn the case, the proceedings for a few minutes.
通常不会有这么多问题的，这个法官不会这么多提问，
讲都讲不了。
突然感觉 Harry 跟那个 Sunny 有点孤单。
是因为他们有后面有人。
对，有后盾。
对的。
哇，感觉好多不可控哦，真的是好难啊。
对，那确实好难。关键是法官真的一直问他，就是没有暂停你。
他好像就一直说我已经看过你们写的东西了，然后就开始问问题了。好难啊！我觉得我会被问懵了就。真的我就一片空白，大脑。
我可能也是。
你们感觉怎么样？就学到了好多东西。
预测一下啊，如果你是法官，你会
难说。
他其实很多时候受规则制约了，所以他会第一个观点很重，因为不停地在问嘛，大部分时间是花在第一个观点之上的。
这 proprietary claim 我觉得那个真的，真挺打击人的。一开始就没说几分钟就开始疯狂问。
但很正常啊，是这样，我对你们已经很客气了。真的感受到了吗？还投我最凶，我对你们真的很手软。
那是 among four of us。他真的很在意，他们说他很凶。
他好可爱呀！
终于逮到机会可以疯狂输出了。
火明号不错的，很稳。
很稳。
今天高度压力下，卡5。
During the adjournment, the three of us discussed and deliberated on the performance of each team. I must say that this is a very difficult decision for us to make, and this is unanimous, that the winning team should be...
关键时刻要到了。
should be the
辛苦了，我们这么多实习生，一起去吃一个晚餐。
哇，这待遇也太好了吧！
好漂亮，海子，你跟谁关系最好？
跟米好久。
你谈过几个女朋友？我
都爱听这个。
这没有课题的夜晚是多美好的夜晚啊！
难得这么放松啊，大家。
接下来就来揭晓第6个课题：医学美容跨境投资。
哦，医美，
哇哦！这次我们将进行4对4团队战。哇哦！这次的队长将会是由胡明昊和朱卓莹来担任。
我觉得胡明昊会选黄凯。胡明昊会选王艺言语，
我选。
哎呦，肖阳还没有。
肖阳心里打着鼓呢。
在29号的上午10点的话呢，需要向我们的客户呢做出一个汇报。
2天，好赶啊！
我觉得这个项目其实我得鼓励文婷，我感觉他们这个团队可能会相对弱一点，
但是我不觉得胡明昊在一个医美行业的尽职调查当中能有多大的优势。
其实他们的这些 skill sets 在这个课题上面优势反而并不是特别的突出。
我这个课题我还蛮期待 Girls Power 的。
那有考虑要签一份竞业协议吗？
想要去做的一个医美服务的范围是什么？品牌的这个过程中有遇到哪些问题？
交易的一个具体的架构。
我会给他们提供一些技术支持。